my dream of an absolution. 'Cause every night I will make it right, and every night I will come to you. But every night it just stays the same in my dream of an absolution. And you'll see what you'll be, and you'll see all you can, every night, and every night, I will dream, and you'll see. This is my dream. Every night, I'll always dream.
Yo, what's good? What's good? Hello, hello. What is up, everyone? Friday fans here. Nice to see you guys. Hope everyone had themselves a very good, a very pleasurable Christmas. Cause I know I sure as hell have. We're back with episode number 56 of the Lightning Round podcast. There's one time out of the week. We sit down and we talk a little bit. You know, Definitely going to be a little bit because there's not really much I really want to talk about today. There's not really much on the mind because for one, there hasn't really been much going on besides the NFL stuff. Now, if there is some topics y'all have in mind, have at it. But for me, all I know right now is I just want to talk a little bit about the NFL. So that's what's going on. So 56 episodes in. Mari, how you doing? 56 episodes in, and we're getting close to the end of the NFL. So let's get started. Let me pull this up. Doing good. Nice to hear you're doing good. What did you eat? What did you drink? How was your Christmas? Like, what did you get for Christmas? Make sure I turn this light up a little bit more. Bam, bam. There we go. Since we're on that topic, what did everybody get for Christmas? Are you satisfied with your Christmas? Andre Graham, how you doing? Welcome. That's from the X side. How you doing, Andre? How's your Christmas? How's everyone's Christmas? For me, my Christmas went absolutely well. I got everything I could have ever asked for. Um, got me some more heated gloves, some more heated liners, for the winter, cause cause right now it's been good, but that don't mean it's going to end just like that. Cause we got January left, and January is probably going to be cold as hell, so I want to be ready. So we have that to look forward to, with the winter weather. I got all my winter gear. I got my SSD. I got a new 4 terabyte SSD. I'm definitely going to be needing it. I definitely got some PC plans, and I cannot wait. Andre Graham he was watching his Giants play on Christmas. Yeah, well, I'm sure that did not go well for you. In fact, we're gonna end up talking about that in a little bit. We're gonna end up talking about it. We're gonna go through as much as we can go through. I can take a little bit of my time. Because if y'all don't know, here's my schedule throughout the rest of this week. Of course, we're just gonna be talking about what we gotta talk about with the NFL now. But of course, I am supposed to be playing Ori and the Blind Forest. It was supposed to be 2 p.m., but then I just realized, oh shit, I gotta clock my cousin in for something. So I'm gonna definitely cut this to about an hour as best I can. So of course we have, I'm gonna be starting Ori at 7 o'clock, and then tomorrow we're gonna do a game night. Now I don't know if we're gonna stream the game night or what. So far, I have not heard any takers on what games people want me to play. But I'll give a reminder before I head to sleep tonight to tell people, "Oh, look, yo, we got this coming up, so let me know." Friday is going to be Yakuza 5. Let me just update that real quick. That should not take long. Because I have all the Yakuza stuff here as a logo, so why not? There you go. And of course, Saturday I come back with Tales of Berseria as well. So that's practically the whole schedule throughout this week. So in case people weren't aware, this will not be the only time you'll see me. But yeah, let's get started. Let's talk about the NFL. Let's talk about everything that happened. As I'm talking about that again, let me know, what did you guys get for Christmas? Or are you happy? Are you happy with your Christmas? You know, you can go and be honest and tell me, whether you're happy with what you got for Christmas or not. I'm gonna switch to Twitch. It should be God of Ninja Hugs. Nice. That's a pretty creative name. All right, Andre is here. Welcome back. I guess welcome back. But yeah, let's talk about what we gotta talk about. Still haven't been able to dig out the PS2 to play OG Monster Hunter 1. I mean, for you, you do have a laptop that can run emulator games, so you can try that if that's not gonna work out for you. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the Week 16 games of the NFL. I'll talk about as much as I can, at least the ones that were very interesting. So here we go. Let's get started, shall we? We got the Saints and the Rams. The Rams beat the Saints 30-22 in a pretty interesting game, pretty entertaining game. Matt Stafford went 24 of 34, 328 yards, 2 touchdowns. Derek Carr's passed for 3 touchdowns. 319 yards. He went 27 to 40. I didn't watch the Texans on my birthday. You knew he would lose. Well, we're gonna get to them in a minute. And he threw an interception. Alvin Kamara had 9 of 19. Kerryon Williams went 22 carries, 104 yards, and a touchdown. Puka Nakua had 9 receptions, 164 yards, and a touchdown. Thank you for following, bro. I was wondering what that was. Thank you for following. I need to boost that alert a little bit more. I don't know why that's so low to me. I'm going to try to best I can to make sure that's a little bit louder, because I don't know why for the life of me, every time I try to hear it, it ends up being incredibly low. But yeah, with that being said, Chris Olave, 9 receptions, 123 yards. Yeah, so pretty much in stats, this was a solid game. This was a solid Thursday, I think it was Thursday night game to watch. So Not bad all around. Even the back, even Rashid Shaheed. That's not a running back, isn't it? 5 receptions, 70 yards, and a touchdown. Almost damn near almost everyone had a touch. Almost 4 touchdowns this man threw. But not bad for the Saints. Though it came up in a losing effort. Matt Stafford, not bad on his end as well. Um, this is not bad, but I will say this particularly for the Rams. The Rams have been on a hot. The Rams are on a hot streak. I think they won like 4 or 5 straight. So if you're a team in the NFC, this is honestly one team you don't want to face. I don't think anybody wants to face the Rams unless you're the 49ers. And I don't even know if they want to face them after what the hell just happened to them. You know I got to talk about them as well. So that is definitely going to be something to take a good look at, is what happened with the 49ers. But yeah, that was a good game. That was a good game from them. The Steelers beat the Bengals 34-11. The Bills beat the Chargers 24-22. I thought this was gonna be more of a blowout, but hey, Josh Allen going 15-21, 231 yards, a touchdown, interception. They had been really inconsistent on the offensive side of the ball because they just barely squeaked out a W. I don't think we beat the Rams. I don't think anyone beat the Rams, I swear. Well, there is a couple people that beat the Rams, but not a whole lot. Easton Stick, 23 of 33, 215 yards. That's not bad for a backup. Definitely could have been better, but that's not bad. James Cook, 20 carries for 70 yards. Austin Eckler, 15 carries for 65 yards. Gabe Davis, 4 receptions, 130 yards and a touchdown. The Bills are starting to finally find their footing on the offense ever since they fired their offensive coordinator. It makes me wonder, are the Eagles going to end up doing that at some point in time? Not this season, but they're going to have to do it at some point in time. Okay, so this is the one game we're going to take a look at, the Browns and the Texans. Browns beat the Texans 36-22. Joe Flacco, 27 of 42, 368 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Davis Mills, 15 of 32, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jerome Ford went 15 of 25, 15 carries for 25 yards. That is not good. 1 touchdown. Amari Cooper absolutely went the fuck off. 11 receptions, 265 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I know Cowboys fans was like, you know what? I wish we kept him. But so what are my thoughts on this game? I'll say this on the, you know how on the NFC side I said the Rams were a team that I don't think anybody wants to see. I think the Browns are a team the AFC does not want to see. I've never, bro, this Browns team, man, whew, they're not fucking around. I don't think they're fucking around. Like, defensively, they have just been doing a damn good job shutting off offenses, no matter who it's up against. And even in the games they lose, it's not really that bad when they lose because it's their defense that's keeping them in these games, which is absolutely crazy considering they just lost Watson for the year. And then you throw in Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco's rewinding the clock like it's 2010, 2011 or some shit like that, 2012, some shit like that. And he's just playing good enough to keep the Browns from completely folding, all the while letting the defense handle that work. So, yeah, if you're a team in the AFC, even the Ravens, I'd be afraid to see this team. Like, if you're trying to get a good shot at the Super Bowl, this is not the team you want to see. Like, defensively, they're just, Jesus Christ. Defensively, man, they're just killing people. Packers beat the Panthers 33-30. I'll be honest, I thought this was going to be a low-scoring game. The fact that this went The fact that this went over a total of 63 points is actually crazy to me because I thought this was going to be no more than like 40. So competitive effort for both teams. Seahawks barely beat the Titans 20-17. I saw that game and they just barely won by a game-winning field goal. What sucks for the Titans is this: despite beating the Eagles and the Titans, they're not. Sorry, what sucks for the Seahawks is this: despite beating the Seahawks, despite beating the Titans, I'm tripping. Despite beating the Titans and despite beating the Eagles, I really cannot see them going to the playoffs. Now, I would love to be wrong, but I think for them, they suffered far too many L's. At least not as much as the Rams, but I need to see the record, like when the Seahawks faced the Rams, who won that game. Because if this is going down as a tiebreaker, I cannot see the Rams. I cannot see the Seahawks. I'm sorry, making it. And I feel like even if they do make it, they're gonna get knocked out first round. But we'll see how that'll go, especially since there's a lot of playoff spots to talk about with this playoff picture here. There's 3 playoff spots available compared to this where there's 5 playoff spots available. So we'll see. We'll talk about that as we get further along here. Falcons beat the Colts 29-10. I did not think the Colts was gonna let the Falcons kill them like this, but yeah, here we are. I thought it was gonna be the other way around, especially considering the Falcons fucked around and let the Panthers beat them while they had no crowd. Granted, it was raining, but they still had absolutely no crowd at that stadium last week. Now, people want to say that was just rain. I don't fucking believe it at all for a second, because I feel like for any fan, for that matter, if you love your team that much, and usually fans of a football team love their team that much, they show the hell up. Buccaneers beat the Jags. This is the second team I'd be scared to face in the playoffs. The Buccaneers have won, I believe, 5 straight? They were around 4-6, 4-7 before going on this stretch. And they just might win their division, which is insane to say. That shows you how bad the NFC South is. But Baker Mayfield is just turning it the fuck on. 26 of 35, 283 yards, 2 touchdowns. Those 2 touchdowns went to Mike fucking Evans, who was a Hall of Famer. Still playing in this league, so you better. So if I'm a Bucs fan, you better enjoy him while you got him, because when he leaves, they're in trouble. But yeah, the Bucs, they're a team I don't want to see. I don't want to see them. And hell, even for the Eagles, I don't want to see a Bucs versus Eagles playoff matchup. Not again. Not with how this team has been as of late, but we'll talk about that as we get there. Dolphins beat the Cowboys 22-20. I saw this game, and I was thoroughly entertained at this game, not just for the fact that the Cowboys lost, but because it was a damn good game. Tua Tagovailoa went 24 of 37, 293 yards, threw for a touchdown. Dak Prescott, 20 of 32, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns. You're shocked? I'm not shocked for you. I'm going to tell you why. I'm not shocked at this outcome. The only thing I'm shocked at this outcome was that Tyreek Hill did not score a touchdown. That's the only thing I'm not shocked at, was that Tyreek Hill did not score a touchdown, especially at the beginning of the game when he had an opportunity to score, but he dropped the ball. That was the only thing that shocked me. Now, he had another opportunity to score. It was at the end of the game. It was close to the end of the game. I thought he would score from there, but, didn't happen. But yeah, Raheem Mostert, 11 carries, 46 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 6 receptions, 118 and a touchdown. Cowboys have now lost 2 straight, and the 2 straight losses come from the hands of the AFC East division. So, yeah, Bills and Dolphins had the Cowboys number. The reason why I'm not shocked is because, once again, this shows one thing, one common theme with the Dallas Cowboys all season long, and it's going to continue to bite them in the ass if they don't get it together. Now we're gonna take a look at their schedule, but I will say this right now: this is going to bite them in the ass, losing against the Bills and losing against the Dolphins. And they're both on the road. You want to know why? Because the Cowboys, for whatever godforsaken reason, cannot win on the road. That right there is going to bite them in the ass. If you cannot go in the road and win playoff games, forget about the Super Bowl. You're not going to go to the Super Bowl, especially if you are the 5th seed in the playoffs. If you're the 5th seed in the playoffs, you're not getting a home game. You can forget about the home game because you won't see it. So, if that's what we're looking at, they're not going to win the Super Bowl. Cross that out your mind. Now, in the case of the Miami Dolphins, they needed this win just as much as the Cowboys need this win, because the Dolphins have been under just as much criticism as the Cowboys have been in terms of trying to beat a team that's over 500 wins. They finally have been able to put that to bed, and they can finally say, I beat a 500 team, because whoever it was they came up against, they just completely folded. They ain't fold this time. Something had to give. But like I said, the one biggest thing that shocked me in this game was the fact that Tyreek Hill, of all players, did not score a touchdown. Now, I get it, he came off injured, but look, Mance had 9 catches for 99 yards. He almost went for 100. But the fact he was that close and still didn't get a touchdown, again, that's the one thing that shocked me. We're gonna go on ahead. The Bears beat the Cardinals 27-16. I don't think anybody cares. The Patriots beat the Broncos. Speaking of, we got more coming on with the Broncos that I'm gonna end up talking about. The Patriots beat the Broncos 26-23. Patriots put up 20 points in the third quarter unanswered. 20 unanswered points in the third quarter. And that was just enough, along with a game-winning field goal, game-winning 50-yard field goal, that helped them put them over the edge against the Denver Broncos, who I'm sure a lot of us thought, they're probably going to win this game. But seeing that they're not going to win this, yeesh. Bailey Zappi went 25 of 33, 256 yards, 2 touchdowns. Russell Wilson, who we're going to talk about in a bit, went 25 of 37, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zeke Elliott, he had 27 yards out of 12 carries. Jaleel McLaughlin had 37 yards out of 6 carries. Demario Douglas had 74 receiving yards out of 5 receptions. Marvin Mims had 63 yards out of 3 receptions. I'm not going to talk too much about... I haven't really talked too much about defense because there's only been like a couple of things here and there. Like Christian Barrymore had 3 fucking sacks. Jeez. I'm still here just going to bully a sponge lizard. Oh, you have fun with that. You go ahead and have fun with the Royal Lou draw. Christian Barrymore had 3 sacks. Jesus. That absolutely explains how they've been able to win that game. Meanwhile, on the Broncos end, they had 2 guys with 1 sack apiece. Still, that's crazy to me how the Broncos just could not get the job done. They're not the only team that couldn't get the job done. Here's what's more crazy. The Raiders beat the fucking Chiefs. And coming into this game, if you was betting into this game from DraftKings, you would have saw that the Raiders were like, I think there was like a plus 600 favorite. I'm sorry, plus 600 against. My bad. Plus 600 underdog against the Chiefs, who everybody thought they were going to win that game. They were plus 600 underdogs. And they fucked around and said, you know what? We're going to win this game. And you can tell by this stat line that the Raiders had no business winning this game. Raiders win 20-14 with their quarterback, Aiden O'Connell, going 9 of 21 for 62 yards. How is this possible? 9 of 21 for 62 yards. Didn't even go for 100 and still won the football game. That is a fucking legendary-ass defense, especially when you're doing that against Patrick Mahomes. So far, I swear, I think the AFC has been nothing but defense, 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 and defense. Because you got the Raiders playing good defense. You got the Browns playing good defense. And you have the fucking Ravens, who are number one on the AFC board, playing good defense. Patrick Mahomes went 27 of 44, 235 yards, one touchdown, one interception. You would think heading into this game, if Patrick Mahomes has that stat line, that they would win the game. It's crazy to me. Crazy to me. Let's look at the amount of sacks that the Raiders got in this game, because that was the only way they could have won this game if their quarterback play was this bad. Malcolm Kuntz had 3 sacks. Jack Jones, we already know he got the pick 6. That's been a little bit controversial, but that's whatever. Adam Butler, he had 4. He had a sack, so that's 4 sacks. So 4 sacks on Patrick Mahomes in this game, and just playing nothing but stifling defense. That is absolutely crazy to hold the Kansas City Chiefs to 14 points. It's crazy because the Chiefs defense didn't do bad. Chiefs defense held the Raiders to 20. You would think by 20 points, that's enough to win the game. Nope. That ain't the case. Oh fucking well. So, because of this situation, the Chiefs officially have been dropped out of trying to get the number 1 seed. No matter what happens the rest of this season, the Chiefs cannot get the number 1 seed. And it's very likely that Patrick Mahomes is going to end up playing on the road for the first time in his career. That's going to be interesting. We're going to find out how Patrick Mahomes does on the road against these teams. Finally. Honestly, bro, even if they win out, I don't even know. I don't know. I mean, shit, it still hasn't been confirmed if the Chiefs are going to the playoffs yet. If they're losing like this to the Raiders, granted they're a rival team, but if they're losing like this to the Raiders, man, I would not feel so good if I'm a Chiefs fan. I'll tell you that right now. I would not feel so good. Now, if I'm the Raiders, I look at it like this. If I'm the Raiders, okay? If I'm the Raiders, Antonio Pierce needs to permanently stay as your head coach. Like, period. What you thought you were going to get out of John Gruden, you're getting out of Pierce. What you thought you were going to get out of Josh McDaniel, I think, whatever the fuck you thought you were going to get out of your previous 2 head coaches, you got him right there. You got him right there. Keep him. Don't be a dickhead. Don't be an idiot. Keep him. That man has the Raiders playing like it's fucking NWA era out there. They're just out here not giving a flying fuck and just attacking whatever offense they see. Keep him. That's your culture right there. It starts with that dude. The players follow him. The players are with him. The players give a fuck about him. They didn't give a fuck about Josh McDaniels. They didn't give a fuck about John Gruden. They give a fuck about Antonio Pierce. Keep him. All y'all need is a good offense. All y'all need is a good quarterback. Right now, the way how I see it, that division next year can come down to the Raiders and the Chiefs. Because I can't see it being the Chargers. The Chargers are ass. And I can't see it being the Broncos because the Broncos are in turmoil. It's literally Raiders versus Chiefs next year. And it's crazy to say because these 2 records are not that far apart. If Chiefs drop their next couple games and Raiders win their next couple games, we're gonna have a lot of questions about the Raiders and the Chiefs coming in heading into playoff time, especially with week 18. We're gonna have a lot of questions. It might be too late for the Raiders. It might be. It might not be. I don't know. But this is what I do know. That AFC West it's not over yet. Not yet. Not yet. In fact, let me take a look right here. Did they beat the Chiefs before? Let me take a look here. Because if they did, it's definitely not over. No, this is the one game. I'm sorry, no, this is two games. Okay, so they split with each other. They split with each other, but as far as I'm looking at it, they split with the Chargers. They beat the Broncos the first time around. Okay, so we're gonna find out and see if they can beat the Broncos again. Because if they can, I don't know. That might raise some suspicions on the head to head. I don't know. I'm sorry, two more games left. My bad, because they got the Colts and they got the Broncos left. So yeah, two more games left. Again, that division's not over for me. They can go 9-8, and the Chiefs can go 9-8, and then we're gonna have some questions on who's gonna win that division. Who would it go to? So GG for the fucking Raiders, man. Okay, so now we got this game here. One of the last games of the week, the Eagles beating the Giants 33-25. The score doesn't indicate how it all went. I'm going to say that right now. Jalen Hurts going 24 of 38, 301 yards, one touchdown, one interception. It's crazy because you look at this. This is not a bad stat line at all. Well, the only thing that might be bad is the fact that Jalen Hurts almost passed us fucking 40 times. But 301 yards, one touchdown, one interception. It's not bad. Oh, absolutely. Oh, trust me, Fuyu. This was absolutely a dumb game, which is why I said what I said. The score does not tell the whole story of this game. Tyrod Taylor, when he came in, was shredding the Eagles defense. And you can see it because 7 to 16 for 133 yards and a touchdown interception. And he only came in the second half. He was shredding them. Which is going to go to my point that I'm going to get to with the Eagles in a little bit when I'm done finishing up this stat line. Saquon Barkley had 23 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift, similar stat line, 92 yards, 20 carries, and a touchdown. A.J. Brown, 6 receptions, 80 yards. Darius Slayton, 3 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Devontae Smith, he scored a touchdown. He went 4 of 79, scored a touchdown. Dallas Goedert, 7 receptions out of 71 yards. Eagles, how you doing? We just now starting to talk about the Eagles and Giants. Rushing, Jalen Hurts, 34 yards, 8 carries, and a touchdown. Boston Scott was literally a no-show. Who would have thought the Giants killer did absolutely nothing in this game? Kenneth Gainwell, 41 yards, 6 carries, and he didn't do anything. Sorry, Jalen Hurts 8 carries. Let me correct myself. I said 8 receptions. My bad. 8 carries. Boston Scott, same thing. He didn't do anything. DeAndre Swift had 20 carries, so had to make sure I had to correct myself. And then you look at it on the. I'm gonna look at it on the Giants end. Give me a bit. Kelly Ringo, he had the interception to seal the game. Shaq Leonard had a sack, 5 tackles. Reed Blankenship had 4 tackles. He had a bad play in coverage. Very, very bad play in coverage. Fletcher Cox, he had 4 tackles, and there really was no sacks in this game. The only sack came off for Shaquille Leonard, which is crazy to say. Our D-line could not get home. In the case of the Giants, Tommy DeVito, he got benched in the second half. He did not do too good. Clearly, he didn't do good enough if this is the stat line I'm looking at. Darius Slayton, 3 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown. The one touchdown I was talking about with Reed Blankenship, completely busted coverage. When it was close to the end of the game, he had a busted coverage. Not a good look. The Giants also didn't get a sack either. Well, they had 1 sack, but half a sack for Xavier McKinney and Jahad Ward, and and an interception from Adoree Jackson, which I'm going to talk about because I will say this: there was some good, and there was some bad with this game. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna keep it 100. The good with this game came off the fact that it sucks. It came off the second half, but the good with this game came off the simple fact that they finally started to run the fucking ball in the fourth quarter. They finally understand, bro, what happened in 2022 should have stayed this year. Should have stayed. And if y'all look at that Brett Coleman film room where it shows how incredibly hard the Eagles make their games, it literally shows every time you look at them. Especially when it comes to situational football. It didn't take till the Eagles to the fourth quarter to finally start being like, you know what? Let's start finally using DeAndre Swift. Let's actually finally start giving him the fucking ball. And let that man eat. I'm sitting up here in the VC, on it, like in the Discord, and I'm like, where the fuck was this when we needed it? Where was this against the Cowboys? Where was this against the 49ers? Hell, where was this all last year? I'm sorry, where was this all this year? My bad. All this year. Because all last year, our philosophy was it wasn't pass first, it wasn't run first, it was situational first. And what I mean by situational first is if a team wants to stop us running the ball, we'll pass it. If a team wants to stop us passing the ball, we'll run it. It literally was the kind of offense where we're just gonna take we're just gonna take what you're giving us. It went from that to fuck it. We're just gonna go ahead and act like we are the what was it? The 2015 fucking Packers, and just start relying on our quarterback to say fuck it, go do something. Jalen Hurts is not Aaron Rodgers. Jalen Hurts is not Tom Brady. Jalen Hurts is not Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts is not Drew Brees. Jalen Hurts is not Michael Vick. Jalen Hurts is him. Jalen Hurts is himself. And by looking at the plays he does well, and then you see the plays he doesn't do well, the Eagles more so are leaning on plays that he doesn't do well for whatever fucking reason. I don't know why. And you said hearing me yell was priceless. Trust me, you're not the only one that thought like this. Go talk to Winter when you can. Fuyu. Trust me, she'll have herself a fucking laugh hearing me rage over the Eagles. Hurts is not doing good this season. To be fair, Ninja, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. Hurts is not doing good, but I'm gonna tell you what's something that's even more crazy. The whole team is not doing good. Yet when I show you this stat line, you'll be like, this team is not doing good, but still somehow about to reach fucking milestones despite not doing good, which is so fucking weird. When do you think CJ Stroud's coming back? Depends on how bad the injury is. I don't know how bad his injury was when it happened, but hopefully he'll be back by next week. The way I watch it is this: when he's back there, Fuyu, the Texans are a playoff team when he's on the field. He scares defenses. No, Ninja, trust me, this is actually driving it home when you say they're good on paper. And I'll show you in a bit what I mean. It's just crazy. But I'll end it like this. Okay, because I don't want to talk too much about this game. Y'all already know my thoughts with this game. I'll end it like this. If the Eagles start running more formations that keeps defenses guessing, like they did in 2022, we will be right back to where we were. And the only reason why we have not been running it is thanks to one guy and one guy only, in my personal opinion. I understand a lot of Eagles fans don't want to hear this. But look, I've said this shit since fucking week 6 against the Jets when we had no business losing that game. Our offensive coordinator, Brian Johnson, is the reason why we're at the position we're at. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know y'all don't want to hear it. I get y'all don't want to hear it. But it's not a mistake to me that when Shane Steichen was here, even on our year where before we even took off, before we did what we did, when it was 2021, you saw a semblance of how good that offense can be when it was ran through Jalen Hurts and when you ran shit that was true to his strengths. I'm not even talking about 2022. I'm talking specifically about 2021. That year we got knocked out the playoffs to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Even y'all could sit up there and say, yo, we might have something going here if this is the kind of offense we're seeing with Jalen Hurts. All we said coming into that offseason, we just needed to get a number one receiver. We just need to get number one. We need to get number one. We need to get number one. Because as much as we love Devontae Smith alone was not going to cut it. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, Ninja. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. We knew heading in, be like, yo, we get to number one, sky's the limit for that offense. Lo and behold, we got the number one by the name of A.J. Brown, and the rest was history. The offense was clicking on all cylinders so much that teams was literally pulling their fucking hair out thinking, how the hell do you stop this team? And I'm sorry, I'm still going to say this to my dying breath, who I'm going to get to in a little bit because we're going to be facing him next week. We're going to be facing him this week, I'm sorry. No one could stop the 2022 Eagles. I'm going to be real with you. I understand y'all going to tell me this is bias kicking in. But literally no one could stop the 2022 Eagles. I don't even think the Chiefs, who won that game, could have really stopped the 2022 Eagles. If it weren't for that fucking turf and if it weren't for our defensive coordinator. I don't think, like, position by position, we practically killed every team that we went up against. And it wasn't just through talent alone. So, goes to show you. So, I'm going to go into the next game. But I will definitely talk about the playoff scenarios, particularly for the Eagles, because y'all know I love the Eagles. But I will talk about some of these playoff scenarios. So this was practically the biggest shocker of the night, biggest shocker of the day. That wasn't just the Raiders and the Chiefs. The Ravens completely destroy the 49ers. They destroyed them. 33-19. Lamar Jackson went 23 of 35, 252 yards and 2 touchdowns. Brock Purdy went 18 of 32, 255 yards. 4 interceptions. Here's what's crazy about this game, and it really has more so to do, more so to do with all the NFC teams that were top NFC teams. Y'all ever notice this? Where, let's see if I can find it. Did I get rid of it? Damn, I got rid of it. Okay, hold up. NFL playoff scenarios, it's perfect. Thank you very much. I'm going to need that. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this up here and show y'all. What is it that these 5 teams all have in common, right? I should say including the Buccaneers, but Buccaneers hasn't happened to them yet. What is it that these 4 teams have in common? 49ers, Eagles, Lions, and Cowboys. I'm going to let y'all take one good guess. Particularly, I should say the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Cowboys, but I'm going to say the Lions anyway because I don't know if it'll happen to them yet. No, not just that. Here's what's all in common with this team. They all got blown the fuck out. And then particularly in the case of the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Cowboys, they all got blown out this month. Eagles got blown out twice by the 49ers and the Cowboys. 49ers got blown out by the Ravens. Cowboys got blown out. Really, I should say they got blown out by the Bills. They didn't get blown out by the Dolphins, but they got blown out by the Bills. They got blown out by the 49ers as well, but I don't know how far back that was. But all 3 of these teams got fucked up. The Ravens in particular got the NFC's number because every time the Ravens go up against an NFC team, they're what, fucking 25-1 or some shit? The 49ers are added as a victim to that list. They beat the Lions earlier. That's why I said I was tempted to put the Lions on there. And the only team they lost to was against the fucking Giants somehow. They lost against Daniel Jones. How? The fuck? I mean, granted, yes, you don't face a lot of NFC teams, but the fact that every time you go up against an NFC team, you've smoked them. Yeah, they're 20-1 against NFC teams and only lost to 1, being the Giants. That's crazy shit. Crazy. 49ers are now a victim to that list. Insane shit. But that's everything throughout Week 16 of the NFL. We're going to go on and talk about Week 17. What do we think are our best matchups on Week 17? Browns-Jets is going to be a very defensive battle. Bet your unders on who you think. Bet your unders. Bet I'll say under 45. Under 45 is pretty okay. The reason why I say under 45 is because of the simple fact that these NFL games as of late has been getting out of hand every time they pass fucking 30 points. So, under 45 I think is best. Lions-Cowboys is probably going to be a marquee matchup where we're going to find out. If the Lions win, this is going to be so crazy. If the Lions somehow come into Jerry World and they win, all the Eagles got to do is beat the Cardinals, and they will make history. And I say make history because they finally become the team in the NFC East to break that long streak and become the one team in the division to finally go back-to-back in being a division champion. That has not been done since 2004. So, it's crazy because if you're an Eagles fan, you're hoping for both. If you want to think about it, because it's a deal. If the Cowboys win, if they beat the Lions, and if the Eagles beat the Cardinals, that means the Eagles move up to the number 2 seed in the playoffs. But should the Lions win and the Eagles win, they get the NFC crown. Yeah, for the first time since 2004, we have a possible repeat. Now, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be a game to tune into on Saturday night. You already know I gotta tune into that game and take a good look for myself. Last year, Eagles and Cardinals were tied until that kick. Yup, I remember. I remember. It was a struggle with that game, and that was the 2022 Eagles. I remember. Next, we have the Titans and the Texans. Last time Texans went up against the Titans, we already know it was a game-winning field goal that the Texans won off of, while the Titans were wearing the Houston Oilers uniforms. This time, I don't think there's going to be any alternative uniforms. It's going to be straight up shit, and we'll see what will happen from there. Now, who's going to take the AFC South in this game? We're going to find out. It's not going to be them. But, I will say this. Feel you, I'm going to tell you this right now. And I hope she's still here. Should the Texans win this game, I don't think it's a guarantee, but they're highly likely going to win their division. And I say this because I would not trust the Jags if my life depended on it, because the Jags right now are going through an offensive crisis. That same offensive crisis that the Eagles at one point had to go through with Doug Peterson and Press Taylor, and then now fans are starting to see why Doug Peterson got fired. Starting to see it. So I'm going to say this right now. Hope is not lost over there in Houston. Especially if C.J. Stroud is playing, and we have no idea if he's playing. But I will say this. If Stroud is playing, you could put a chalk on the Titans. You could chalk that shit up. Tell you that right now. So we're going to find out as the week go along. As the days goes along, we're going to find out whether he's playing or not. But I can say this right now. I'd rather have the Texans as the AFC South champions than the fucking Jaguars, because they're not good. The Jaguars are not good. Trust me. Their record is another team. They're another team where their record don't tell the whole story. Falcons, Bears, I don't think nobody gives a shit. Dolphins, Ravens. Ravens are going to take this game, because I think this is going to be another game where the Ravens are going to stamp their ticket and become the 1 seed in the AFC. And on top of that, I see this as a game where Tua is going to be pressured all fucking day. And Hill's not going to go anywhere. Waddle's not going to go anywhere. I don't even know if Waddle's playing because he has a high ankle sprain. So he might not play that game. So, knowing that, it's very likely that the Dolphins are going to lose this game. I would say bet on the Dolphins just getting wrecked this game. I'll be shocked, but yeah, it would not stun me. Saints, Buccaneers, I would say I wouldn't pay attention to this game, but this might actually be a good game. This might determine the NFC South right here. Buccaneers have been playing scorching hot ball. Like I said, they've won like 4 or 5 straight. They were literally like they won 4 straight. They were 4-7. They were 4-7 to start the year. I'm sorry, they were 4-7 in the season. And then just came off and said, you know what, fuck it. We're going to go ahead and win 4 more. So this is a crazy run that the Buccaneers are on, because you would think going 4-7, you'd be like, all right, that's their season, that's it. They'd be like, nope, I'm not giving up right here. But at the same time, the Saints ain't going to go down too easy. So this is a coin flip. Take your pick who you think going to win between the Saints and Bucks. For me personally, I see it as a Bucks, because Mike Evans is going to be the Achilles heel like he always is, at least in my opinion, for the Saints. NFC South is shit. Yeah, it is. But the Buccaneers, at the very least, the Buccaneers is showing to be a team that has some fucking grit and some fight in them, and showing that they want to go to the playoffs. Thank you. Somebody has to in that division. Somebody has to. Bills, Patriots, do not care. Cardinals, Eagles, you already know. The Eagles better win this game. And they definitely better win this game, not just because of the fact that they got the playoffs, because of playoff seeding. I'm going to tell you why they better win this game. This fucker right here is why we should win this game. Jonathan Gannon. When's the last time we saw Jonathan Gannon? We haven't seen him since the Super Bowl. Jonathan Gannon, if you guys remember, leading up to the draft, there was a tampering situation. All for Jonathan Gannon. And there's more so to it when you see, I don't know if it's in this article or if it's in any other article, but I know it's there somewhere. I remember commenting on it. I'm going to see if I could find it by any chance. I'm going to definitely see if I can find it. It shouldn't take too long. But I know this for a simple fact. No, it's not about what he said. It's about what he did. Leading up to that Super Bowl. It's what he did. And it's why Eagles fans hate him so much. I'm going to say this to compare my hatred of him. Y'all see me, a good bit of y'all see me play Monster Hunter, right? Y'all see me play it. I hate him compared to my hatred. No. No, he's not in front of me. It's pure, unadulterated, straight up hatred. Yes, these tweets are funny as shit, by the way. But I'm going to see if I can find it. It shouldn't take long. Thank you, Cam Newton, by the way. What is this? Okay. I should be able to find it somewhere. No, because I want to read this off to y'all. To tell y'all my amount of hatred on him. It should be here somewhere. We just talked about it. We literally just talked about it today. Me and this person. This great Twitter person talked about it today. Oh, nice. Magic tipped off. So it's like, yeah, it's like JR's hatred of Triple H. That is the best way to describe it. It is like JR's hatred of Triple H. That is the perfect description. Chalk Zone. That's a gold-ass show. I'm a find it. I'm gonna find it. I'm sorry I'm taking so long. It should be here. Scroll way down like this. And if I can't find it, you know what? I'll go ahead and put it like this. I'll go ahead and put it down in a search and put down like Philly, my name, Gannon, whatever the hell it is, Gannon. I'm going to go ahead and put it down like that. Whoa, hold up. Here it is right here. There you go. In search of a head coach, Arizona Cardinals general manager Monty Ossenfort made an impermissible call to Gannon in the lead up to the Super Bowl. A call that eventually led to tampering charges. Gannon did not tell the Eagles about it or his intention to interview with Arizona, according to a league source. A lack of transparency that disappointed the Eagles in large part because it hurt their chances to retain preferred replacement Vic Fangio. Now, for me personally, I don't want Vic Fangio considering our lack of use of linebackers. Because if you're going to do Vic Fangio's system, you need linebackers. But I'm going to say this right now. The fact that this happened in the lead up to the Super Bowl, and this cost us a Super Bowl, along with what he did, is why I hate him so much. I hate him like how JR hated Triple H. I hate him on the level of us hating the Cowboys. Giants fans included. I know Giants fans hate the Cowboys. That's my level of hatred of him. I hate him like how I hate Malfestio, Nightcloak Malfestio, and Monster Hunter. I hate him like how I hate Val Hazak and Monster Hunter. Hell, for me, his hate is rivaling, or better yet, above those hatreds. For what he did is why I hate him so much. If I have to hate you more than I hate my division rivals for what you did to us with that one game, it's bad enough that the field was bad, but the fact it's what he did to not make any adjustments during that game told me so much. He cost us our second Super Bowl in franchise history for what he did. Look, this is fucked. I get this is fucked. And the Cardinals is not any better for doing what they did, so I hate them too now. Because that GM should have waited until after the Super Bowl. He could not fucking wait until after the Super Bowl to do this. But I will piss on their grave, okay? Sorry. When their football careers are done, I will laugh at their football careers. I will piss on their football careers. Here's the deal. As much as I hate Jim Schwartz still won us that Super Bowl. Regardless of how fucked up it was. Regardless of the fact, here's the deal. Tom Brady still threw for 500, but at least this dude wasn't getting any calls for head coaching opportunities. Nor was he fucking up a potential Super Bowl chance. At the very least, if you're going to go win a Super Bowl, at the very least, if you're going to go and be a head coach, at least win the big title first, which is what you should want as a coach in this league. Regardless of status, regardless of head coach, regardless of offensive coordinator, regardless of defensive coordinator, at the end of the fucking day, you're all striving for that same goal no matter where you're going. But he chose to do that. I remember years ago, I was getting shat on for talking about how Jonathan Gannon kept fucking this defense over and holding it back. But after that game and now finding out that this was pretty much confirmed, he did the ultimate dick move to where, look, whatever hate I had of Jim Schwartz, he just surpassed it in a nutshell. So, take that for what it's worth. So that's why for me, when I said heading into this game, it's not just for the fact I want the Eagles to win this game. It's more so for the fact that I want them to dismantle the Cardinals. And I want Jonathan Gannon to look at what he could have had if at the very least he just coached that game well. It'd be one thing, and I understand, I'll say this one more time. I understand the field conditions for that game was terrible. Ain't nobody denying that. No Eagles fan in the world is denying that. I'm not going to deny that. But it's what he did, or should say lack thereof, in that game that fucked so much up. And that right there is why I will never forgive him. He can have as many draft picks, top draft picks as he wants. But I hope he never succeeds as a head coach, or a coach for that matter, in any major professional sport. I do not care. I do not care. Yes, he's the reason we lost that Super Bowl. As much as people want to joke around and say it was Jalen Hurts that lost us that Super Bowl, which wasn't the case. And if y'all were here when I said this the day after, I said, look, Jalen Hurts is going to be the reason we're going to go back to the Super Bowl because of how he performed in that game. Yeah, he fumbled the ball and they scored a touchdown off of it. What did he do after? Anybody want to know what he did after? Because I could tell you what he did after. I could tell you what he did to adjust to controversy compared to, say, Jonathan Gannon, and what he did to adjust to controversy. Jalen Hurts said, fuck it, we're going to go right back and score. Yeah, I mean, I fumbled, I fucked it up, but we still going to score. He did his job. Take a look at Jonathan Gannon. He did absolutely nothing to contain a one-legged Patrick Mahomes. He did nothing. It'd be one thing if he tried, but he didn't try. Despite the shit field, I believe if it was a good field, yeah, our pass rush would have gotten home. But with how he calls defenses, nah, he wouldn't have did anything. And that's why I don't forgive him. Plain and simple. I'm not going to harp back on it too much because really what happened in that game, but I wanted to give y'all context for why I said I will never forgive Jonathan Gannon. Now Shane Steichen, on the other hand, I more than forgive him. How I missed that fucker because of how bad our offense has been. I miss Shane Steichen, man. He's better than what we currently got for offensive coordinator. I don't fucking care. We got Panthers and Jaguars. I don't think nobody cares about this game for real. Raiders and Colts. I said before, if Raiders continue doing what they're doing, do not be shocked at all. I don't know how the playoff situation is looking like over there in that division. I don't even know if Kansas City clinched that division yet. But yeah, for Kansas City, it ain't looking too good. Rams Giants. Rams are gonna easily take this game. It's not even. Come on now. Come on. The Rams are gonna take this game. 49ers and Commanders. I'm gonna tell you this right now. The Commanders got the chance to do something extremely fucking funny. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking around. They actually have the chance to do something incredibly funny. So I don't see this coming. Nobody sees this coming. Nobody should see this coming. This should not happen. No way. No way in hell. So the 49ers against the Commanders. Should the Commanders do the impossible and they beat the 49ers? While the Eagles beat the Cardinals, guess who rose right back up from number 2 to number 1? Guess who went from 1 to 5 to 2, possibly 2, to 1? That would be the Eagles off the most craziest way possible. I cannot see this happening. No one in their right mind should see this happening. The 49ers should be able to easily take this game. The 49ers should be able to blow out the Commanders because the Commanders are straight ass cheeks. We shouldn't even be talking about this even happening, but should it happen, oh my god, the jokes with this game would be astronomical. But yeah, like we said, the 49ers should take this game. They should take this game. The Steelers and Seahawks, I don't think anybody really cares, but I mean, sure, there's the two very mid teams. It's crazy because you would say coming in that the Bengals and Chiefs that the Chiefs should take this game. I don't even know, thanks to the Chiefs losing to the Raiders. So as far as we're concerned, this be crazy if the Bengals beat the Chiefs. So we'll find out what's going on over there in that AFC West. The Chargers and Broncos, nobody gives a fuck. This game is 50-50. Yeah, the Bengals and Chiefs is just as much 50-50 as we're led to believe. So is the Steelers and the Seahawks, but nobody cares about the Steelers and the Seahawks. Nobody cares about the Packers and the Vikings either. This is probably the worst Sunday night game you could ask for. If there's a game right now out of this whole Week 17 that deserves to be flexed, I'm going to tell you this right now. The game that deserves to be flexed for a Sunday night football game is easily Lions and Cowboys. That should be flexed for a Sunday night, even though it's a Saturday night. It should be flexed to Sunday night because if they want some primetime ball, there you go. But if we're not going to pick that game, say we're going to exclude the Lions and the Cowboys. Sure, fine. The game that should be Sunday night is Saints and Buccaneers. At the very least, I think Saints Buccaneers should be flexed. It's the best game on. I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. Dolphins and Ravens should be flexed based off of these two teams' record and based off of how they, yeah. You would think even though the Ravens are going to win this game, the Dolphins are going to give them a bit of a chance. So I would say right there, that should be flexed to a Sunday night game. It's either Dolphins, Ravens, or Saints, Buccaneers. But the fact that it's the Packers and the Vikings? Ew. So, there you go. But yeah, there you go. And then of course we got Week 18 stuff. I'll talk about Week 18 when we get there. I'm gonna say this as well. Be on the lookout for this. If Rams, which should happen, Rams beat the Giants, this right here is gonna be a critical Week 18. The Rams are trying to get in the playoffs. The 49ers are trying to lock up the number 1. Keep in mind, even if the 49ers win this game, even if the 49ers beat the Commanders, they still got the Rams to worry about, who are trying to push for a playoff spot. That's going to be very interesting because should say both teams, both the 49ers and both the Eagles are 12-4. And the Eagles, of course, they beat the Giants again. 49ers lose that game. The Eagles are once again still right back at the number 1 spot. So, be on the lookout for this game. Should the Rams, like they should the Rams beat the Giants, should the 49ers beat the Commanders, and should the Eagles beat the Cardinals, and should they beat the Giants, it's going to get very interesting. Very interesting. So, that's the big key story is the 49ers and the Rams. Be on the lookout for that game. Anyway, that's everything. That's all I have for this episode. It's crazy how for an episode we did push it for an hour. So I will come back here. 2 years ago, the Rams and 49ers was a bop. Yup, and I see it being the same thing if everything stands the way that we think it will stand. So the way that I see this coming, again, is the following. Lions-Cowboys is pretty much a toss-up. Yes, the Cowboys are pretty much hard to beat at home, but they can be beat. But should the Eagles beat the Cardinals, should the 49ers beat the Commanders, should the Rams beat the Giants, this Week 18, this one here, and where is it? This one here and this one here, two very big ones to pay attention to. I should say Chiefs and Chargers as well is another thing to pay attention to. And I say this only because of the fact that we have no idea how the Chiefs are right now. The Chiefs are fucking, like, hot and cold. In this case, the way I see it, they're very cold. Now, if the Eagles do lose and the Cowgirls win, yeah, Week 18 is pretty much a wrap. The way how I see it. Because, I would say it would be a wrap, but we'll see. I think off strength of schedule, the Eagles might still take it over the Cowboys, but we'll see. Um, but that's it. That's everything I have to talk about for games leading up to Week 17 and possibly Week 18. I will hit y'all with playoff scenarios here. Here we go. Here, Tampa Bay for them. All they have to do is win. Like literally, DJ Khaled just win. Tampa Bay winning a game would clinch the NFC South, and what a game it would be, because all they have to do is beat the Saints, and they clinch the NFC South. Personally, I can't think of another deserving team than the Buccaneers to go because they've been red hot. Lions can rest starters? No, they cannot. No, they cannot rest starters. No. No. No, they cannot because they're trying to go for number one. Eagles and Lions do not have room to rest starters. All three teams are 11-4. They're not resting starters. Period. No team is resting at all. Not in the NFC South. Not in the NFC side. They cannot afford to rest. Not all three. They all have to play their Week 18. Tampa Bay wins, of course. Like I said, that's one option. All they gotta do is win, and that's the best option. All you gotta do is fucking win. Tampa Bay, you know what you gotta do. Option 1 for the Rams, keep on winning. Option 2 for the Rams, they win a game, but then Seattle lose, and then they're going to the playoffs. Now, option 3, the Rams win, Green Bay lose, Minnesota lose. Oh, I'm sorry. The Rams cannot be passed by for any of the NFC South teams due to a superior conference record. The Rams is also guaranteed to finish ahead of Seattle in the division due to their head-to-head wins. Thus, if we can get Los Angeles Rams a guaranteed tie over Seattle, the Rams will make the playoffs. Alternatively, if we can get Green Bay and Minnesota both to 9 losses, with the Rams at 9 wins, the Rams are in. The Vikings, pretty much done. I can't see it, but we'll see. This is very hard of a situation for them. If Minnesota wins out, the only team they can't win every tiebreaker against is Tampa Bay. However, Tampa Bay will still win the NFC South at 9-8, so they aren't useful for wildcard purposes. But that means as long as we can get all but 2 wildcard teams to 8 losses, Minnesota is in. Good luck with that. That's a very tough one. Same thing. Oh, damn. Saints got bad options here. Well, they got a lot of options, though. They just went out and Tampa Bay loses their Week 18. New Orleans, they continue to win. Rams continue to lose. Seattle continue to lose. This. Okay, options 1 here clinches the NFC South title for New Orleans, so they're going to automatically be in. Options 2 and 3 are wild card clinches. No, New Orleans loses all tiebreakers to everybody, so they have to clinch outright. Basically, they just need to fucking win. If anybody needs to win this game, it's the fucking Saints. Because they hold no tiebreakers to any team. That's crazy. NFC card, the wild card for NFC is interesting next to the AFC. Oh, trust me, we're gonna get the AFC in a little bit. But yeah, the New Orleans, they got so many options, and their options are really not looking as good. Yeah, I don't think anybody is gonna rest for Week 18. They haven't earned it. Okay, Atlanta, nobody cares about Atlanta. Green Bay, nobody cares about Green Bay. Chicago, nobody cares. Let's be honest, none of this is happening for neither of these teams. Kansas City, I'm gonna get to them in a bit. I really want to see if the Raiders are capable of getting into the playoffs. If not, we will see. Okay. So, okay, never mind, because Denver's kind of okay. The Raiders are kind of fucked here. So option 1 is Kansas City. They win their next game. Option 2 is Denver would have to lose. Yeah, Raiders might be fucked. And of course, the Raiders would have to lose a game. These both clinch the AFC West title. There are numerous paths to getting KC in, even if they lose the division. But they're way more complicated than these, so we leave them out based on their least complex criteria. Jacksonville, they just need to literally win. But if they continue to lose, then they deserve it to themselves. I don't know what else I can tell you. Cleveland, they just need to keep on winning. Honestly, that's all they've been doing is fucking winning. All these options to me with them don't matter too much because literally they just need to keep on winning. They've been killing shit. All of these except the Buffalo loss gives Cleveland a playoff berth just off pure record, with the exception of Buffalo and Cincinnati, who tied Cleveland, but Cleveland wins the tiebreaker. Buffalo has 6 options. Jesus. All of these clinch on record alone, but Buffalo basically loses every tiebreaker, so they have to clinch on pure record. Damn. I can't see Indy making it. We'll see with that. Hold up. Is Raiders even capable? Ooh, they're capable, but they have a lot of options for this to happen. Um Okay, Houston. If Fuyu is still here, she's gonna want to look at this. I'll worry about Indy when I can. I'll probably worry about it next time. Like say the next week, I'll worry about it. You can go ahead and continue, Ninja. You can go ahead and tell me. Houston. Houston, literally just win. But if they don't win, they still have options. If Houston wins out, they have the conference record on Buffalo and Cincinnati, and they got the head-to-head over Pittsburgh. So this allows Cincinnati and Pittsburgh to effectively be guaranteed behind them at 10-7, which would guarantee, which combined with the loss Indy gets to Houston in Week 18, will only allow Cleveland and Buffalo to pass Houston, which is some weird shit. But basically, to put it simply, all they gotta do is win. And to be eliminated, we need a third team to pass. Option 2 is a backup option for clinching the AFC South. Houston loses all the fun tiebreakers, so for option 2, they need Indianapolis and Jacksonville to lose out. Note that Houston can still clinch a non-division playoff berth even with a loss, but it's complex enough to ignore in this post. Basically, to put it simply, Houston, just win your fucking football games, please. That's literally it. Pittsburgh ain't clinching shit. Cincinnati is not clinching a goddamn thing. Denver is not clinching anything. Now, Raiders, I want to see. The Raiders have 5 options here. Because I believe this. If the Raiders are in the playoffs, the Raiders are the only team not named the Browns. I would say that teams should be scared to face. Defensively, I'd be scared to face them. Option 1, Las Vegas wins. Option 2, Kansas City loses out. That's the best possible option they could ask for. Is they continue to win and Kansas City continue to lose. Option 2, Las Vegas keeps winning. Another option is that Jacksonville wins Week 17. Jacksonville loses Week 18. What the fuck? So they need Jacksonville to win one week and then lose the next week. What the hell? Pittsburgh loses Week 18 and Buffalo just straight up just fucks up and keeps losing. I can't see that happening. This with Buffalo, they starting to find their stride. Option 3, same thing applies, except Cincinnati loses a game. Option 4, Houston wins Week 17. Indy wins Week 18. Pittsburgh loses Week 18. And Cincinnati loses a game. Option 5, same thing with that, they win. Houston wins Week 17 again. Indy wins Week 18, same shit. Pittsburgh loses Week 18, and Buffalo loses out. So, the options they got are pretty fucking crazy. But the best one you can have as a guarantee is, of course, option 1. So, option 1 has Las Vegas clinching their division. For the other options, Las Vegas has a pretty good conference record, but is a bit hamstrung by their head-to-head losses versus Pittsburgh and Buffalo. But on the other end, winning out means they beat Indianapolis in Week 17, which helps them out a bit. The basic idea behind any of these setups is to force an AFC South team into a multi-way tie with Pittsburgh or Buffalo to bypass the head-to-head losses. The Jacksonville and Pittsburgh losses in Week 18 will ensure that Las Vegas will win the conference record tiebreaker over them, and with the AFC South team forced into a tiebreaker mix, Las Vegas can use that to get past the needed teams. That is such a crazy way for Las Vegas to get into the playoffs. My goodness, man. I can't. I fucking can't. But hey, this is where we're at. This is where we are at. Let's see here. I don't know if I could find anything. Here we go here. Okay. So Philadelphia wins the tiebreaker on strength of victory over the Detroit Lions. So that's why they're in second place if anyone's ever wondering. So that's why they're in third place. 79 to 86 versus 72 to 93. That's why they win. They win that. We're gonna see if we can go to more of this. Here we go. Game clinching scenarios. This is for getting the number one seed or getting more than that. Okay, so here's San Francisco's way of clinching the entire first round, bye and home field advantage all to themselves. So San Francisco, they just need to win their next game and basically hope for a Philadelphia loss and a Detroit loss. That's the only way they're gonna get it. Philadelphia will clinch the NFC East title with a win or a Dallas loss or tie. Or, by some crazy shit, Philadelphia ties and Dallas loses. Crazy shit. Tampa Bay clinches the NFC South. Literally, like I said, we just covered it. They got a win. Los Angeles Rams clinch a playoff berth with a win plus a Seattle loss. Now, keep in mind, Seattle is going up against the... They're going up against the Steelers. I can't see Seahawks losing this game. So if I was them, I would not rely on that loss. But another option they got, which I don't see happening, is a Minnesota and Green Bay tie. Seattle clinches a playoff berth with a win plus a tie. Again, I do not see that happening. That would have to be fucking crazy if they both just tie. AFC, we already know. Baltimore clinches they clinch it with a win or a tie. They literally just need to win and they pretty much got it. That's literally it. They just win and it's done. All this stuff, and there you go. We already covered a good bit of it. But that's everything that there is. That's a Madden scenario. Yeah, it really is a Madden scenario where you be out here wondering how the fuck did this team get in the playoffs? And they never tell you how they get in the playoffs. That is some crazy shit. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. With the lightning round episode number 56. I will be back though. Keep in mind, I still have to play Ori and the Blind Forest. So I'm definitely gonna be coming back. With 7:41 now. So I'll give y'all a little bit of time. So it's 7:41 now. I'll give y'all maybe 10, 15 minutes, maybe 8 o'clock. I don't know about that. I'll give y'all that bit of time, and then after that, I'll come right back here and be like, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's start playing some Ori. So, yeah, get your death counter ready. But that's episode 56 of the Lightning Round podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the sports talk. Eagles, thank you for coming. God of Ninja Hogs, thank you for coming. Fuyu, thank you for coming. Anyone that's coming here to lurk, to chill out and watch, thank you for hearing me ramble on about sports for a little bit. But till then, if this is the last time I will see you today, thank you for coming. And I hope I can see you back here on Friday. Now, I don't know if I'll stream on Thursday because, as y'all said, Thursday is going to be game night on the Discord. So, depending on what game people want to see me play, that's the game I'll play and I'll just chill out with. Now, if I will see you back here, I will be playing some Ori and the Blind Forest. So, I'll see you back here in about 10, maybe 20 minutes. So, either 8 o'clock or maybe 10:50, either way. Because I'm going to go and refill, get something to drink, because I know I'm going to need it. So, I will be right back. But if not, if I don't see you, thanks for coming.